What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tom here, and I'm back with a very special, please people watch this video, please watch my video, YouTube video. What up? Um, I want to do a follow-up today on those weird creatures that I did the last time, the Ambichome, and how I'm doing like speculative evolution. Not really. I mean, sort of. I say sort of because it's like a fantasy world, so, it's really, they don't exactly fit within, biology. But I figure a phrase that I want to use to describe how I'm thinking of designing these is I want them to feel like they fit within the context of their environment. Naturalistically, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, we'll get into that. I've got some drawing, and before we do any of that, I just want to say, if there's anybody watching this, especially who watched that last video and had never seen any of my stuff before, thank you so much for watching and liking it and engaging with that video. That was big for me. Honestly, I didn't expect anybody to see it, so there was some confusion because of that. I didn't really explain that much about the world, but yeah, let's do a little short rundown. The world, there's some magic in it. There's this sort of like latent life force energy called soul, so everything has it, and everything is constantly leaking it as they age, get sick, get wounded, maybe it leaks more, and you run out or reach a critically low level, you die. But it also can be harnessed and used for magical purposes. So a big reason why I want these creatures that I'm designing for the world to feel, sort of natural is because I want the creatures to still feel very grounded, and then the magic itself to feel very mystical, magical, just to give like this wide gap between what is like natural and what is not. So yeah, there you go. And one last note. I'm sorry it's been so long since I made that video. Shortly after I recorded and did that video, I re-injured myself. I have a kind of an old injury now that really prevents me from drawing, and it really kind of just kills the mood when it's hurting. And it's been hurting for the last few months, but I'm getting back into drawing, so I really wanted to put a video out for YouTube so that I can just like try to get that going and get momentum, if not in like followers, just momentum for myself. So anyway, thanks again, and let's hop in. So something that I think most people wanted to see after the last video, myself included, was expanding on the more amphibian-like version that I had come up with, and see what I can do. I was keeping that in mind, as well as some other things that were commented by people who know more about science than me. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here, is expanding on this design in a more amphibious way. So in the right, I have, I believe it's called Diplocaulus, a very ancient amphibian. It has this very interesting head shape. I kind of got to this place by, just looking up different amphibians throughout the years. And there's these ancient amphibians. I don't know if it was an order, a family, I don't know, but the Temnospondyli, and they were super successful before mammals really started taking over, and they were very diverse. They had things that modern amphibians don't, like osteoderms or even scales and things like that. And this Diplocaulus is one of those Temnospondyli. Yeah, so I thought the head looked cool, obviously, so I went with it. Now, those weird frilly furry things you saw me doing on the back of the larger Ambichome and this younger one here, that's what I'm doing right now. Sketching is sort of like their life cycles. That was because I was thinking about how amphibians, like, quote unquote, breathe through their skin, and so, they need a lot of surface area to volume ratio, and being really large is bad for that. You have a larger volume to surface area. So I was thinking, what if these guys had a bunch of weird, bushy doily-shaped, foldy skin growths, almost like fur, but it's skin, you know, and that like vastly increases the surface area. Now, obviously, I know that that's like not really possible in the real world, but there's magic going on here. It's similar to why I'm justifying they can use their like external gills as sensory organs, even though they would realistically be far too fragile to be like bumping around in the water on the banks and stuff like that. Because of soul and because of the magical properties that soul can produce, they have more durability in parts of their body that seems too fragile than is really natural. And I'm realizing right now that I never really explained the fact that their gills are not just for gas exchange and for sensory organs, but can filter, latent soul right out of the water and out of the atmosphere. So they got a lot going on with those gills, and that contributes to another really important factor when keeping all of this fragility talk in mind. Strong regenerative abilities. That's a thing that axolotls have. They can like regrow limbs and eyes and stuff like that. Ambichome, they're the same deal. And it's all because of the way they filter that latent soul out of the atmosphere, which is something that, other living things don't really do. Going back to the Diplocaulus, there seemed to be a few different theories as to why they had those like boomerang shaped skulls. What I'm basically moving forward with in my brain, even though I don't think it is like the widely agreed theory, is those bony parts, could sort of form this part of a structure that protects the base of the external gills. And also, it looks really cool. I should note here real quick that having the head be this really exaggerated boomerang shape is, shrink wrapping most likely, which is like a paleo art term for when an artist makes the soft tissue like muscles and skins and stuff follow far too closely to the skeleton. I know that it probably would not look like this, but also I can only do so much without just saying, hey, this looks cool, so I'm going to do it anyway. And that's what I've done. Alrighty, anyway. At this point, one of my friends told me that Rio from Arcane, the show, is basically, what I'm making. So I was like, dang, I got to look that up. Even though I'd already seen the show, I totally forgot. But yeah, that's what that reference was. Here I am saying sorry because I forgot to record this part of this drawing. I was basically just directly referencing one of the Rio images, the one in the top right, to get the pose because the body shapes are pretty similar. Like this is much more bulky with that big muscle pad over the shoulders, but it was so close I had to do it. And here I am just kind of trying to do like a final quote unquote drawing to show off this version of the design that I came up with. I know that it's not as in depth, or in the art itself, even the drawing itself is not as cool or detailed maybe as the last video. I think the design, I guess, is going in a cooler, or I don't know, better direction. So that's nice. But I didn't do as much in this video as I had done for the first, and the art is no exception. And that, especially the art part, is really because I'm still dealing with this injury and I can't be aggravating it. I just can't afford to. But hopefully you still like this anyway. Now, as far as the design goes, like I said, I think it is going in a cooler direction, or at least more unique. But I was talking to my partner, and we both kind of agreed that the first one was distinctly more bovine, and I don't know, it had so much character in that bovinity, if you will, that this one misses, and that is a shame. So, while I think this direction is net positive, you know, it ain't better in every single way. While I likely won't be making a full third video on these fellers, though who knows, maybe I will. Um, Either way, I will continue developing the design because I think it's good for me as an artist, as a creative feller, you know, all that. I think it's good to keep developing them. So I want to get that bovine weirdness back in, and I don't know, maybe incorporate more of what y'all might say. Here it is colored up a little bit. I went with very similar colors as in the last video. I want to do more patterning and more with like cool scale patterns or osteoderms on parts of the body. Um, since you know temnospondyli had such like that stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, I haven't quite yet. So regardless of whether I make a new video on these or a full third video on them, there will be another design, at least one, and you'll see it somehow, somewhere, and it'll incorporate more of that. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think of these. Thanks for freaking watching. It's been your boy Tom. It's been real. Sorry for the long wait, and see you again next time. And before I go, thank you to my patrons, Sam James, Annie, Hannah, Lucas Yanatelli, Charles Mullenix, T. Mesnick, and Will James. Your support means the world to me. And if any of y'all watching want to join my Patreon, you know, mostly right now it's just charity, but I have been trying to put more on there so that it's actually worth it for you. But yeah, I know, stunning sales pitch. You can find it in the link in my YouTube video, I'm sure. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, thank you to all of y'all. And follow, like, subscribe, all that. Bye bye.